Good evening, everyone. My name is Simran Chaudhary, and I welcome you all to HeartWise Talks brought to you by Voice of Healthcare. In honor of World Heart Day, we present our special series Heart Smart 2024 Act Now for a Healthier Tomorrow. This series is dedicated to empowering you with the vital knowledge about your heart health. Our theme, Use Heart for Action, reflects our commitment in promoting heart disease prevention, encouraging regular health checkups, and advocating for cardiovascular health priorities. And for today's episode, we have with us Dr. Sajeev Nair. He is a luminary in wellness realm and the visionary founder and chairman of Vieroots as our guest today. Dr. Nair is not only the author of groundbreaking book The Making of Superhuman, but also a pioneer in biohacking and tech-driven wellness. With a career dedicated to helping thousands achieve health and wellness, his work in nutritional therapy, exercise therapy, and functional medicine has made a profound impact on combating lifestyle diseases. We are very excited and thrilled to hear from Dr. Sanjeev Nair on this special occasion. So, welcome to our show, Dr. Nair.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thanks a lot for coming to our platform on this occasion. Since we just give a gist about your little bit of background and your contribution in V Roots, I would like to start by the role of wellness in heart health. So, how does your philosophy, the making of a superhuman, apply to heart health, especially in today's fast paced world where nobody has the time to sit, relax, and just think about what actually they are doing?
Yeah, I understand your question very well because at this point of time, the only time we think about our heart is when it stops. Otherwise, we take it for granted, thinking that it'll work forever and without any fail. And when we talk about longevity, human performance, all those aspects, the first and the foremost organ on which we really work on and we really focus on is heart, because that one thing which is something which once a damage happens, very difficult to repair, because you must be knowing that if someone suffer from a heart attack, almost 5 to 10% of the cells will be damaged, and those cells cannot be regenerated or repaired. That's a very challenging situation. Most of the people don't know about it because heart doesn't have a stem cell. That's why heart doesn't get cancer. So it's a damage. You may go through an angioplasty, and you may have your doctor must have helped you to have a life extension of your life, but the quality of life can have a negative impact. So it's always better not to get into that state and do whatever it takes to prevent that kind of situation to happen. So wellness or preventive health, when it comes to heart health, has got a huge role to play.
Thank you so much, because the thing you just explained us and you started with, we only think about our heart or something when it stops working. So yes, that is one of the very good pickup line to start with a conversation, and to actually pinch exactly that point of the conversation or the thing which we really want to address. So think before your heart stops working, think for your health, for your family, and think for a healthy life. And uh, thank you for explaining this role of wellness and heart health to all our audience. But since we know V-Roots is a tech-centric wellness, so can you explain how biohacking and genomic solutions like EPLIMO are transforming cardiac care and prevention in heart health?
See, the most important thing about the coronary artery disease or anything to do with heart related disease is that something which we don't know. It happens. We come to know about it only once it happens. Most of the other diseases, if you look at it, you have an inflammation, you are having some pain for some time, then it get aggravated, all those kinds of things. Here, people just collapse on the gym floor, or maybe someone is going for a morning walk and all of a sudden getting a call saying that he's collapsed and dead. So you're not getting that many indications. That's one unfortunate thing about heart attack or heart failures. The point is, you can actually prevent it. That's a good news. You can definitely prevent it. How? By knowing about your risk factors. what kind of risk factors you're carrying when it comes to your heart related diseases. I'll just give you my own example. My dad had his attack at 53. That was his first attack, and at the age of 62 he passed away when I was a student. So that point of time angioplasty was not there. Okay. But still he survived for some time. Now my grandpa also had heart attack, so I know that I'm carrying those genes. I don't require to go through a genetic test to understand that, whether I carry that kind of gene or not. The key factor I am very keen on knowing about is, yes, I'm carrying that particular gene variant which can lead to coronary artery disease. What can trigger and when it can get triggered? That's the only thing which I want to know, because you may be carrying so many genes which are responsible for so many different diseases, but doesn't mean that you're going to have all the diseases. But you have a higher likely chance of getting those diseases compared to the normal population. That is what a genetic study actually gives you. But the key factor, what you need to find out is what can trigger that gene to express. We call it as on. It's off now. But when it is going to be on, and what can make it on? That we call it as trigger. So EPLIMO, which is EPLIMO, epigenetic lifestyle modification, the program which we designed or curated for the last 4 years. Right now, with the support of AI, it's getting into the next phase, where we make a person go through a complete health analysis, in which actually genetic analysis, in which from just 2 ml of your saliva, it's a do-it-yourself kind of model, by which you are going to get about 275 health conditions are being decoded from your DNA. And I think about 16 to 20 heart related diseases, and the kind of risk you are carrying or the genes which can actually lead to those diseases are being found out. Now, we don't stop in that. We don't give you a report saying that, hey, you have this kind of problems. We are telling you that, okay, these you are carrying this particular gene, and what can trigger that gene to on. So once you identify that trigger, then you can make lifestyle modifications to block or prevent that trigger. My case, I have a gene variant which is actually leading to coronary artery disease. Okay, but by God's grace, nothing has happened till now. That means that gene is sleeping now. It is not on. It can express any time. Now, from our correlation studies, we found that I also carry another gene which is responsible for keeping my homocysteine level high, and it is published papers available. Most of the heart related diseases, there is a higher levels of homocysteine, but normally people don't check about homocysteine. So my first advice is that I need to check my homocysteine and make sure that my homocysteine level doesn't cross the upper limit. It is in the safer zone. Now the question is that what is making this homocysteine level to shoot up? What is making that particular gene variant to express? It can be any of those vitamin mineral deficiencies, or maybe genetically you may have a lower concentration of one of these vitamins. We doctors know, and the medical science people who are in the medical science or healthcare science knows that most of the time it is either B6 or B9 or B12. One of these vitamins deficiency for a prolonged period of time actually can lead to homocysteine going up. But which one is a question mark? So in my report, it's very clearly mentioned that I have got a lower concentration of folic acid, that is B9. So that means whenever I get into a lifestyle where my folate or folic acid or B9 level drops, or because as such my genetically I cannot absorb that well. Okay, so if it drops, then immediately homocysteine will shoot, and automatically my attack will happen. So the only thing, the trigger I get it from is I have to make sure that my B9 levels is maintained. So how do I do it? In my case, I take methyl folate supplementation, and I make sure, every 3 to 4 months I go for a blood test and make sure my check my homocysteine level. If it is around say 12, 13 and all those stuff, because 15 is the maximum limit. 15, when it crosses 15, then it's actually you are in danger. So then I go, and for about 2 weeks I take methyl folate supplement, and then after that if I test, I can see that it has gone down to below 10. So I have protected my heart. This is one way of looking at it. There are so many different reasons by which somebody can get a heart failure. It can be some other genes which are responsible for certain things like QT interval. QT means that's a kind of gap you can see in the ECG. Genetically, some people have got a prolonged QT. It's genetic. It's not a disorder, or it's not a disease. But if you are carrying the genes which are actually keeping your QT levels prolonged, then if you are going for HIIT, high intensity interval training, or heavy cardio, chances of your heart failing is very high. So I have prolonged QT. I have that gene. So when I found it, earlier I used to do a lot of cardio. Then I changed my exercise pattern. So the key factor here is your exercise, your nutrition, your diet, your supplements, your medicine, everything should be personalized. Wellness is not a general thing. This is something which people should know. Now that nutraceutical industries are really throbbing in this country, everybody is popping one or other pill. But that's not a safe bet.
I think the one method you just explained us is how these genetically things which is telling about your body, which is required, which is not required, which may trigger or which is sleeping as of now, and things. This is very crucial and beneficial
Yeah,
to predict any kind of heart condition which may occur in future to any person out there or maybe at risk of heart disease. I think this is very crucial, and I think that's how our country or medical sciences is growing and advancing and helping our country to be, uh, as much as aware we all can do, and then they can take their health seriously
true.
and take such kind of measures to prevent their heart health.
Very
So
true. Yeah.
thank you for explaining that to us, because it's a very important and crucial way to prevent our heart health. So, since this is one of the method or a way genetically, the medical sciences has done advances in this way. If a layman person out there who does not have this kind of knowledge or anything or access to all such things, a holistic approach, V Roots focuses on holistic lifestyle management. So, how do factors like nutrition, exercise, and mental health intersect to improve heart wellness? Because we know most of the people does not take into account the mental stress and mental health to is in somehow interlinked to their heart health. So, a little
Yeah.
focus on that as well, please.
Yeah, a very, very, very important question because I think 2 days back there is a young girl in a management consulting firm. You must have seen the news. She died
Yes.
because of heart attack, and it's being found that's because of the heavy stress in the work pressure in the office. So I think yeah, stress levels, diet, exercise, everything has got a role to play. That's why we always focus on personalized lifestyle management. It should be personalized. Cannot be is that you can actually go and buy any supplement and eat. That's why some of the doctors always discourage people from taking all the kinds of supplements. They have what they are saying is right, because you know supplements are not something like everybody can eat anything. It has to be personalized. That is where EPLIMO kind of programs come into play, where you know exactly what kind of nutrition your nutrients you are deficient of, what kind of nutrients can actually even lead to certain problems also. When it comes to mental health, I just want to tell you that stress is something which we have to live with, no other way, because we are living in that kind of a world where we cannot go to Himalayas and just meditate and get things done. So we need to go with this, whatever going on. And every single day the world is actually speeding up, the businesses are speeding up, professions are speeding up. So we need to match to the pace. So what we can do, number one is that we need to do certain biohacks, simple biohacks, something like the regular exercise is a good biohack in the sense, because when you are exercising, it is not just building your muscles. Your brain is producing something called BDNF, that is brain derived neurotrophic factors, which is basically a fertilizer for most of the other hormones in your body. So happiness is created by a hormone called serotonin, which is very famous nowadays. Dopamine is something like a kind of a mood hormone. Oxytocin is something like a romance hormone. So all these kinds of different hormones, and it has to be balanced. When that loses balance, that's the time you actually get into so many different problems. Cortisone, you need to have a certain level of cortisone to keep you alive. But the same time that level shoots up, that's the time you have stress. Or when you have stress, it level shoots up. And the moment the cortisol level shoots up, that actually creates a lot of problems, especially connected to cardiac health. So we have seen that there are many cases who are got genetically, they have higher or lower resilience for stress. Okay, so they cannot tolerate stress that much. And most of the cases we also see that they have a lower concentration of a mineral called magnesium. So we always recommend people to take magnesium, and we can see that the moment you start taking magnesium supplementation, especially magnesium citrate, you can see that their stress levels are coming down. They are able to handle more stress. Okay, so in short, I cannot explain in a detail, but there are hacks available for all of this. We need to understand one thing, that yes, of course, the world is pacing up, speeding up, stress levels are going up, but at the same time science also is growing big
Yes.
time. So technology and science is helping human to enhance their quality of life, and also to handle more stress. I may be handling more stress right now than maybe 20 years back. I may be running different businesses, I'm doing so many different things. So if you look at it, but I'm okay. Why? Because I take my own supplementation. I know exactly what kind of supplements works for me, and I take that in the right dosages. Sometimes I take nutritional IVs, that means the nutrition infusions. Suppose if I feel that tomorrow I have to travel, and today I'm not feeling so well, kind of immunity is slightly low, I go for a vitamin C, maybe 20-gram IV. So it's all possible right now. That's a good thing, at this point of time. Even you can hack your mental stress.
You just mentioned about and gave us an example about magnesium, right? So that helps manage stress. And just if you can clarify when and why it is required, just because our listeners out there do not go and blindly go and start taking that. So if you can clear that out to
Yeah,
us.
yeah. Actually, magnesium is it's kind of, we call it as a mineral. It's a mineral basically, but it is a mineral which requires in the highest quantity, around 400 milligrams of magnesium you require every day. It's not like the vitamins or other things which require in very small quantity. And what is the best source of magnesium? Green leafy vegetables. That's the best source of magnesium. Moringa
Yeah.
extract. Moringa is a very good, very extremely good source of magnesium. And magnesium is aware in many things, like rice bran contains magnesium. So, but the problem is, do you get all those kinds of things right now in your food? That's only a question. And also, even if you take leafy vegetables, what is the guarantee that it is not being applied with pesticides? So there are so many questions right now in the marketplace. That is where we always better safe bet is a supplement. It's a quality supplement. So generally, magnesium. The best time to take magnesium is after dinner in the night, which gives you better sleep also. Because magnesium levels, if you have proper magnesium levels, you can see that your melatonin levels are better. Melatonin is something which you require for sleep. Melatonin is the hormone which makes you sleep. Now, that is why in India, if you look at it in the nutraceutical market, one of the supplements which is selling the most is melatonin, because a lot of people are not getting proper sleep. And the sleep is the most important factor when it comes to heart health. It's so important, especially heart and for brain, because that's the time your repair happens, the regeneration happens. So instead of jumping into melatonin straight away, which is a hormone which you can actually definitely take as a supplement, but instead of jumping into melatonin, earlier was a medicine. Right now it is being sold as a supplement. So instead of jumping into it directly, I strongly recommend, if you're going through sleeplessness or lack of sleep or stress levels, try to use magnesium citrate or magnesium glycinate, 400 mg before sleep, and you can start seeing good results. Even I have seen that people who are having issues with diabetes, there are some positive signals.
I think yes, that is very beneficial for listeners to
and
understand
and
to
and
do.
it's similar, and I think the awareness is very high now. I just want to tell you that
Yeah.
I'm really amazed, because we have in Vieroots, we have this product magnesium citrate. And when is the time we get the maximum orders online? We get the maximum number of orders between 10 and 1 in the night. and
Oh,
and yeah, absolutely, we're amazed. So that means a lot of people are searching about solution for sleep. Okay, and they may be ending up with magnesium somewhere, and then they are searching it out. So I think there is a lot of awareness about magnesium right now.
I even read somewhere, I don't know is this factually right or wrong, but after Japan, India is one of the second country who is facing this sleep problem,
Yeah,
because stress is so high and everything is so high. So I think that's why people are more, they are working the complete day, whether it's on their health, like we say, going to the gym or doing some exercise and then going to their work, having all those nutrition food, but they are so much stressed inside or something is wrong inside going on, they're not able to sleep. And I think that's one of the main reason people are not aware when what is actually impacting, but they are looking for the solutions out there. So I think this is one
that's
of the
a
good things, that they are thinking in the right direction, but they have to also find out the cause behind this. So I
that's a
think,
price you have to pay. That's a price you have to pay when you are in a fast growing market. So
yeah.
welcome to the challenge.
Yes. So this we talked about the general heart health prevention, lifestyle, wellness, and everything. But when you also gave us an example of the recent incident of the youth, the 26-year-old couldn't handle the work stress and then everything happened. So youth engagement in heart health. So how can younger generation be inspired to prioritize heart health in the era of increasing sedentary lifestyle and unhealthy habits, because they're waking up at 11, 12, sleeping at 2, 3, and then there's no lifestyle. It's just whatever is coming up, they're taking that way and then living their life.
Yeah. So the most important thing is that there is something called circadian rhythm. Circadian rhythm is something like, it is connected with the universe. So that when your body starts producing cortisol, the hormone, almost before, maybe about 1 2 hours before the sun rays, and as the cortisol level reaches a certain level, that's the time you wake up normally, in a normal way. And then the cortisol level maintains in your body, and evening before the sunset the cortisol level goes down, and then the melatonin goes up, and the melatonin goes a particular reaches a particular level, that's the time you feel sleep, and then again the cycle continues. This is called the circadian rhythm. So this is something which you cannot change, human cannot change it. So we are many people are trying to challenge it. It is not possible. It doesn't work. So how much ever, whatever kind of lifestyle you want to enjoy, but still let us go with the nature. Let's go with, you cannot challenge the universe anyway. So when you are, when you are awake, and when your melatonin level, see, the if you look at science, it very clearly says that as the melatonin level goes up, that is after sunset, the melatonin level goes up, your pancreas slowly slows down the functioning. So that means it doesn't secrete that much of insulin. So that point of time, if you're taking a lot of maybe carbohydrate, the carbonated drinks or anything of that sort, you're going to have elevated levels of sugar throughout the night, which is not at all good for your heart, not at all good for any of the other organs for that matter. Now, so please, one thing is that once in a while, weekend, you're having a celebration, it's fine. But at least the rest of the days, suppose entire 7 days, 2 days you're going to damage yourself. Okay, fine, fair enough. I can, even somebody comes to me and says that I want to damage entire my body for 2 days. That's okay. The rest of the 5 days, you can repair it. If you are taking right kind of supplementation, sometimes some nutritional IVs, you go to the infrared sauna, you get into cold plunge, you get to so many different technologies available right now, so that you can actually repair that. I'm not recommending that, but still I'm saying. But don't get into that habit of damaging your body every night. I think the youngsters who go out for partying for weekends and the rest of the days managing their life properly is a far better proposition than those people unnecessarily wasting their time in front of the mobile, scrolling till 12 o'clock, 1 o'clock, all the screens, and just maybe on the weekends they're still maybe at home, but they are actually damaging them more. So I would rather say that, for the youngsters, we should understand that yes, you should be conscious about your own health, and now we have no excuses. We do have enough science available, enough tools available, enough products available in the market by which we can recoup all those kinds of things. Now, even for that matter, somebody says that, the party. Now, post party, there are IVs. Now you can go and have that's a hack. So it's a heavy dose nutritional IV you can take, and actually you can maybe reverse some of the damages which has happened to your liver. Okay, so that way, once you look at it, you know, if you really want, you can have a kind of lifestyle you want, you know, without restricting that. You can still maintain good health for your, especially to protect your heart, liver, and also your brain.
You summed up that very well. So thank you for explaining that to us. So now summing up with this session which we had, so I would like to know your vision for future. What is your vision for the future of cardiac wellness, and how do you see technologies like wearables and genomics testing advancing heart care in the next decade? And also a short message for our listeners out there, in spreading that awareness for their heart health.
I strongly believe that in the next 10 to 15 years' time, most of these lifestyle diseases will vanish from the earth, because we are having so much of research happening right now, and so many devices, tools, and techniques, and products available right now, which can prevent or postpone the offset of most of the diseases, including heart attack. It's mainly possible because we can quantify most of the things. I strongly believe that that's a fundamental principle on which we build the company Vieroots. Now, the fundamental principle is, if something can be measured and monitored, it can be managed. The key factor is whether you can measure and monitor. So you're going to have so many devices out there to measure you. You know, you have the smart ring, which can actually measure almost about 20 plus health parameters, your sleep patterns. You have got, pocket sized ECG devices available right now. So if you have some discomfort, you can immediately take that pocket sized ECG device and take about 6 lead ECG and send it to a doctor and get yourself verified. You have CGMs, which can actually monitor the glucose level on a continuous basis. We ourselves are bringing out a super app, which is good. Sorry, we ourselves is going to bring out a super app, which is going to read about 25 health parameters from a face scan, just from a face scan. It even reads your biological age. So ultimately, what's going to happen, if you look at a vision, if you look at the future, it's going to be a quantified self. Each person, each and every human being can quantify themselves. I should be able to quantify how much ready I am for the day today, you know. So once that level, once we reach, even if I have a discomfort, I go to the doctor. I'm not going to tell all this, explain all these things. I'll be just showing him the screen. The screen may have all the different parameters already for the last 1 week. With that, the doctor should be
Yes.
able to explain and tell me exactly what to do. So I think the vision, the future seems to be very bright. We are going to definitely see a world without lifestyle diseases, and some of the geneticists always or have already declared that death will be optional by 2045.
Thank you so much for being on this platform and sharing your insights and expertise with us and helping us to spread awareness to all our listeners about heart health and preventions and how all they can take care of their heart health on this special occasion, World Heart Day. You joining for this session means a lot, and thanks a lot for giving your time. Thank you.
Thank you, Simran. Thank you. And it's a great show. Let me wish all the very best for all of you, and have a fantastic, healthy heart for all of you.
Thank you.